Good evening. Thanks for joining me this Thursday on 7Edition. I'm Otto Othman, and these are tonight's headlines. Request for lower tax and increased subsidies is contrary, says the Prime Minister. 2 assemblymen arrested over alleged involvement in LTTE. And Indonesian minister stabbed by suspected militant. We begin tonight's bulletin with this story. A request for the government to lower the tax rates but increase subsidies at the same time is deemed not possible. Speaking on tomorrow's tabling of Budget 2020, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said there must be a balance between taxes and subsidies in order for the government to generate income and give out subsidies.
The Premier explained that the government is trying to tax the rich more, which is the principle behind Malaysia's tax system, while subsidies would only be given to the deserving.
I read in the papers what the people want is lower taxes and increased subsidy. That is contrary. You can't have lower taxes and then increase in subsidy. There must be a balance between the two. We try to lower the taxes, but the government must have money. If you are going to subsidize, you must have money. If you lower too much, you will have no money and you cannot subsidize. But
he said this after opening the 10th International Conference on Green Technology and Eco Products in Kuala Lumpur today. He said this in reference to the pre-budget 2020 wish list conducted by media that found respondents wanted lower taxes and higher subsidies, especially on essential items. Tun Dr. Mahathir also said even among the lower income B40 group, there are people who may not need any subsidies.
Now, the government has scrutinized and taken note of all the feedback provided by the people through the Finance Ministry's survey for Budget 2020. In a statement today, its Minister Lim Guan Eng, who will table Budget 2020 on Parliament tomorrow, said the people want the government to give top priority to lessen the burden of their cost of living. The people also wants the government to provide equal opportunities for all, irrespective of race and religion, to achieve the Shared Prosperity Vision WKB 2030.
Tomorrow, the Pakatan Harapan government's 2nd edition of the national budget will be unveiled by the Finance Minister in Parliament. The budget is expected to provide a clearer course for the government's long-term development plan amid a challenging external environment. 2020 will also be the final year of the 11th Malaysia Plan, 11MP. As such, the budget may contain a new policy direction. Expectations are high for the budget to involve expansionary and counter-cyclical measures to buffer the Malaysian economy against further external shocks. With the ongoing US-China trade war, the budget this time is also one that will be closely watched, with a contingency plan expected. As for the people, the budget will mostly likely take into account their needs and aspirations, which, besides cost of living, include emphasis on creating more job opportunities with reasonable pay. While new taxes are not likely to be introduced, the government's goal to reduce the government deficit and debt remain challenging, with the government expected to put its plan to address disparities across income groups and across states. More emphasis is also expected to be given to increase development expenditure, while efforts to boost business confidence represent another important aspect of the budget. For the record, a total of 314.5 billion ringgit was allocated for Budget 2019 versus 290.4 billion in the previous year. The tabling of Budget 2020 will be telecast live on NTV7 from 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Now, moving on, the Prime Minister has revealed that some of the staff of the Utusan Group will be absorbed by a new management company after the takeover process is complete. Tun Dr. Mahathir said this after over 800 staff of the newspaper group were told to vacate their desks yesterday as the company ceases operations.
Yeah, but then will be closed. A new company which will take over by the time the workers are concerned, some of them will be taken from work.
Yesterday, the staff of the media group, which publishes Utusan Malaysia and Cosmo, received the news through an interim memo informing them that the company had appointed an interim liquidator. They were ordered to clear their desk by 1 p.m. and their employment will end on October 31st. On another matter, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the government will establish the National Council of Climate Change Action, MTPIN, by year-end to fulfill a promise made in the Pakatan Harapan's manifesto. The Prime Minister also said that the setting up of the council will be done through the newly rebranded Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Centre, previously known as the Malaysian Green Technology Corporation.
It is important that we gear the country to be climate change resilient and ready to face the impact of climate change, such as rising sea level, disruption to food chain, health care, and others. A National Climate Change Centre is required to do climate change-related data collection, risk analytics, policy coordination among different levels and aspects of government to ensure Malaysia does not only survive but thrive as the globe inevitably becomes warmer into the future.
He added the rebranding move is also consistent with the government's commitment to keep the civil service lean and reduce expenditure by optimizing delivery. On to the Dewan Rakyat sitting. The government has given the assurance that the price of the RON 95 petrol, which will be floated from January next year, will be increased gradually. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail also noted that the move will not have a significant impact to the people. The minister in Parliament today stressed that a sudden increase could result in a grave impact to the economy.
Jadi gradual itu, apakah 1 sen, 2 sen, 3 sen, sangat bergantung kepada momen ketika Januari itu memberikan harga minyak mentah dunia. Tapi prinsip itu setelah kita menjangkakan 50 ke 60 US dollar per barrel, kita sudah boleh membuat agakan atau ramalan. Jadi saya selamat untuk mengatakan bahawa gradual income itu adalah sangat minimum supaya tidak memberikan kesan parah yang sukar diperbetulkan kepada rakyat.
Replying to a question on the rationale for Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan as not being the recipient of the targeted petrol subsidy program, Datuk Seri Saifuddin said the situation in the region was different from the peninsula. He also said private transport is often used by the public, our cars and motorcycles, but the situation is different in Sabah and Sarawak, as there are people along the river using small boats as their main transport. Police have denied a news report claiming that the fugitive businessman Low Tech Joe, or Joe Low, is in the United States. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Bado said Joe Low is still receiving protection in a particular country and negotiations are underway to bring him back.
Kalau logiknya kawalan keselamatan Amerika ni baik di laut, di udara, di darat ni amat ketat sekali. So saya tak jangkalah Jolo tu selicik itulah dia boleh menyelinap masuk ke Amerika. Kalau itu berlaku di bawah hidung pihak berkuasa Amerika, amat memalukan. Tapi saya yakin tidak. Dia masih di sanalah, di tempat yang saya sebutkan itulah, ya, mendapat perlindungan, ya.
On September 28th, a U.S. entertainment portal, Page 6, reported that the businessman wanted for his alleged involvement in the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal was spotted in the country. The fugitive financier has been identified by investigators from Malaysia and the US as the main character in the multi-billion ringgit 1MDB scandal. Two state assemblymen from Malacca and Negeri Sembilan were among 7 individuals arrested for their alleged involvement in the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam LTTE. Bukit Aman Special Branch Counter-Terrorism Division E8 Principal Assistant Director Dato Ayub Khan Maidin Pichai said all the suspects had been under police surveillance since November last year.
Ini maklumat awal yang kita dapat bahawa memang ada cubaan oleh individu ini dan beliau berinteraksi dengan salah seorang lagi penyokong entiti di Malaysia ni untuk melancarkan serangan. Saya tak boleh mencerita detail lah serangan itu bentuk mana, tapi memang ada percubaan. Tuan-tuan boleh bayangkanlah kalau Pesuruhjaya Tinggi Sri Lanka pun dicederakan, mereka pun dah melancarkan, inilah tidak mustahil. Itu yang kita nak elakkan.
It was reported that the two Rep R. Gade Assemblyman G. Saminathan and Serambanjaya Assemblyman P. Gunasekaran, both from DAP. All those detained were picked during an integration operation mounted by Bukit Aman Police in Melaka, Kedah and Negeri Sembilan, which began at 9 a.m. today. Dato Ayub also said a total of 25 individuals had been arrested so far for alleged involvement in the LTTE in Malaysia since 2009. On to this tragic story. A 5-year-old girl has died after falling into a septic tank at Batu Lima Jalan Gambang in Kuantan, Pahang last night. The incident occurred when Nur Arisha Abdul Rahman was playing in the area with her 2 brothers and 4 other friends. District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Nur Yusuf Ali said the victim died from drowning and that no criminal elements were found in the case. Investigations revealed that the septic tank located 500 meters away from the victim's house was left open when the children reached the area at 5:30 p.m. Realizing the situation, one of the victim's friends tried to close the septic tank with its lid but was unsuccessful as the metal cap fell into the hole. It was unclear how the victim fell into the 3-meter deep tank, but her disappearance was only realized by her mother about 2 hours later. Local residents spotted the victim's body floating in the sewage tank about 9 p.m. before alerting the fire and rescue department. Her remains were then sent to the Tengku Ampuan Afzan Hospital for post-mortem, which concluded this morning. Nur Arisha was laid to rest at the Kampung Pandan Dua Muslim Cemetery in Kuantan this afternoon. Indonesia's chief security minister was stabbed by a suspected Daesh radical on Thursday, the first time a senior politician has been attacked in recent years. Now, the former general Wiranto has undergone surgery for 2 deep stab wounds in his stomach, but was in a stable condition. Now, 3 others were also injured. The assassination attempted to happen during his visit to a town on the island of Java, when a man wielding a knife approached and attacked the minister. Footage shows security officers wrestling a man and a woman to the ground, and Wiranto slumped to the ground beside his car after the incident. Police said the man is likely to have been radicalized by Daesh, while the woman is still being investigated.
Diduga pelaku atas nama SA tersebut terpapar oleh paham radikalisis. Nanti yang kita coba dalami, apakah SA ini juga masih memiliki jaringan dengan JAD yang ada di Cirebon atau JAD lain yang ada di Sumatera.
Wiranto, who police have said was one of several targets in a failed assassination plot this year, has faced controversy over alleged human rights violations and crimes against humanity linked to violence following East Timor's 1999 independence referendum. Thursday's incident comes just over a week before Joko Widodo kicks off his 2nd term as Indonesia's president. Wydad Business Group, WBG, has offered to buy Plus Expressways Berhad concessionaires by taking over the 51% stake owned by Khazanah Nasional Berhad for a 1.5 billion ringgit cash consideration, or 100% of the concessionaires owned by Khazanah and the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) for 3 billion ringgit cash. In a statement, the company said the proposal was submitted to Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the Works Ministry and Ministry of Economic Affairs. Both offers include the waiver of toll compensation worth 2.7 billion ringgit incurred by the government for the abolishment of tolls in Plaza Batu Tiga and Bukit Kayu Hitam. The group also proposed to reduce the current toll charges by 25 to 40%, as well as giving a 50% discount for toll fares during festive seasons such as Hari Raya, Chinese New Year and Deepavali, for as long as the group deems reasonable. Bursa Malaysia ended mixed on last-minute bargain hunting after hitting a new 4-year low in mid-afternoon on the back of the US-China trade conflict, as well as market jitters ahead of the Budget 2020 announcement tomorrow. The benchmark FBMKLCI today rose 0.64 points to 1,551.87. On to stocks to watch. Axis Rate continues to deliver on its target of new asset acquisitions with a new industrial property in Nilai, Negeri Sembilan, worth 50 million ringgit. The lease term provides a decent gross yield of up to 9% and would raise the company's profitability by about 2% in the next 2 years. Next, CIMB Group Holdings Berhad boasts an undemanding valuation with a 28% total shareholder return. The bank's modest execution of 5-year strategy leveraging neighboring markets is also set to drive medium-term outperformance. And last but not least, Sunway Berhad remains a top pick given its well-integrated property and construction development, with its healthcare business yet to be appreciated. The firm is well supported by its resilient earnings from mature investment properties alongside its growing building materials business and quarry operations. Up next, the most downloaded mobile phone game in history. We'll be right back with the details. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's hop on to Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. A hit-and-run incident involving a car and a motorcycle occurred on Tuesday in Shah Alam, Selangor, which saw the motorcyclist's head almost got run over during slow-moving traffic. A dashboard camera footage of the crash went viral on social media, garnering over 22,000 views and sparking outrage among netizens who condemned the driver's cowardly act.
According to China Press, the impact of the accident caused the poor biker to tumble a few meters on the road, and he narrowly got his head crushed after getting hit by the red Pro 2 Asia. The driver, however, fled the scene as the victim quickly got back on his feet. Netizens were astounded by the irresponsible driver, stating that justice will prevail. Others expressed how grateful they were that the motorcyclist survived the accident, while noting that it's much safer to ride a motorcycle on the left side of the road.
Call of Duty, one of the most successful PC games of all time, was introduced on mobile phones just a week ago and is already off to an explosive start. Now, according to a report, the new Battle Royale game has crossed 100 million downloads, beating its biggest rivals like PUBG and Fortnite, and making it the most successful launch of a mobile game ever.
The report by app research firm Sensor Towers shows that while PUBG picked up 28 million downloads within the first week of launch, Fortnite had 22 million downloads. However, it's important to note that PUBG was released in limited regions, while Fortnite was iOS only at the beginning. Still, Call of Duty Mobile's figures are impressive. It launched on both platforms and in all countries except China, Vietnam, and Belgium. Now, what was its recipe for success? For one, is its legacy. It was a smash hit in 2013 when it was introduced on PC. Over the years, the game franchise has also made it to multiple platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Wii. Overall, the combination of adrenaline-pumping gameplay and large fan base have been instrumental in Call of Duty Mobile's success. Its stunning visuals and fast-paced action are also keeping the players glued to their mobile screens. And compared to its rivals, Call of Duty Mobile doesn't have many performance issues.
It's Budget Day tomorrow, and be sure to tune in to 7Edition's pre-budget show at 3:45 p.m. and 1 hour Budget 2020 discussion at 8 p.m. Wrapping up Bulletin tonight is the trailer for DreamWorks Pictures' Horror, The Turning, which tells the tale of how a newly appointed nanny discovers dark secrets looming in an estate after taking charge over 2 disturbed orphans. The film will be hitting theaters next year. I'm Otto Othman. Thanks for watching and good night.